What's up, fight fans? Let's dive right into today's news. Here's what's going down. Khamzat Chimaev FaceTimes his mother after UFC 319 victory. After dominating Dricus Du Plessis to claim the UFC middleweight title at UFC 319, Khamzat Chimaev revealed a rare emotional side by immediately FaceTiming his mother to share the moment. Fans got a glimpse of the human side behind the dominant champion in the octagon.
Deze dag nou overswakken, jou maar jou. Ja, dat doe ik kijk hoe doe mij de raja. En ga je als je dat zo zit daar is, ga je dat doen. Nee, daar kan je chip doen.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic joins Khamzat Chimaev's UFC title celebration. After claiming the UFC middleweight title by defeating Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 319, Khamzat Chimaev also celebrated with a big steak and a chat with longtime friend Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The Swedish football legend has frequently supported Chimaev and even FaceTimed Khamzat following his victory. Chimaev, who previously represented Sweden, now competes under the UAE flag. Here is a picture of their interaction. Khamzat Chimaev explains mid-fight trash talk to Dricus Du Plessis. Khamzat Chimaev revealed what he told Dricus Du Plessis during their one-sided UFC 319 title fight, saying he encouraged him in his corner to work harder while dominating him. Speaking on his post-fight interview, Khamzat said,
"Just was working on him, so I had some cool time on that there. So just spoke with him, spoke with his coach, without the fight. Was happy."
What kind of things were you saying?
I said, "Good job, work harder, guys."
Caio Borralho claims he has the key to beat Khamzat Chimaev. After serving as the backup for UFC 319, Caio Borralho believes he's the only middleweight with the tools to defeat new champion Khamzat Chimaev. Drawing on past training experience with Chimaev, Borralho says he understands the champ's system better than anyone and would accept a title fight as soon as October in Abu Dhabi.
For me, it's the same. I always see him as the same. He's a phenomenal athlete, very strong. His wrestling is like high level. It's almost impossible to scramble with him because he does that since he was like 9 years old. So he's doing scramble all his life. So I think that's all the mistake that people does. Dricus tries some guillotines and all that. So I don't think that's the way, you know. So I think the same thing. I spent 1 month in his training camp when he was in All Stars over there, and I know very well how he works, his system and everything. And I think have advantage between all the middleweight fighters. I think I'm the one that have advantage to beat him because I know what exactly he's doing, what exactly is his system and all the steps that he needs to go through and how to deny these steps.
Do you think Borralho has an advantage over Khamzat? Anthony Hernandez calls out Khamzat Chimaev. "I'll drown him." Fresh off his dominant win over Roman Dolidze, Anthony Hernandez set his sights on new UFC middleweight champ Khamzat Chimaev after UFC 319. Hernandez, riding an 8-fight win streak, criticized Chimaev's boring title fight and promised his pace, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu would overwhelm the undefeated champion. Speaking to ESPN Deportes, Fluffy said,
"Congratulations to him. It's a fucking pretty boring fight, I'm not gonna lie. But, man, call me for the fight. I can wrestle, I can do jiu-jitsu, I can stop all this shit, and I can shut him down. And like with my gas tank, man, I'll drown him, I promise. I'll make him fucking work. So call me, keep me in mind, guys, and I think you guys will have a new fucking Mexican-American champion."
Lerone Murphy demands title shot after spinning elbow KO at UFC 319. Lerone Murphy, 17-0-1, delivered one of 2025's most vicious knockouts, stopping Aaron Pico cold with a spinning elbow in the UFC 319 co-main event. Riding a 9-fight UFC unbeaten streak, Murphy says December is the perfect time to challenge champion Alexander Volkanovski, who congratulated him on X and teased a potential fight. Volkanovski wrote, "See you in December, Lerone Murphy, congrats." Speaking on the post-fight press conference, Murphy responded to the call-out, saying,
"December will be perfect for me. Gives me time to recharge, spend some time with the family, and then work on some bits and get better and come back better. December will be great to share the octagon with Volkanovski, one of the featherweight GOATs, adding another scalp to my already quality resume. I'm 9 fights undefeated now, yeah?
You know better than me.
Yeah. So I've had 10 fights in the UFC now, 1 draw, 9 wins. It's time for a title fight."
Are you looking forward to this fight? Volkanovski wanted Evloev, but Lerone Murphy's KO stole the spotlight. Alexander Volkanovski reacts to UFC 319, praising Lerone Murphy's first-round knockout of Aaron Pico and suggesting the undefeated Brit could be his next featherweight challenger. While Volkanovski had hoped to face Movsar Evloev, Murphy's statement win has clearly caught his attention. December could now feature a highly anticipated title showdown.
Lerone Murphy, congratulations, well done. Happy to see someone that I believe deserves it anyway. And to get a big finish like that, I think you've made it pretty clear. So, well done. See you soon. A lot of people are going to be like, Movsar should be there. It's like, hey, I tried. I'm going to tell you right now, I tried to make that happen. I thought he deserves it. He did deserve it. He had this fight, and then I'm like, all right, he's going to have to do this fight, and then he definitely gets it. And then he pulled out, and you know what the UFC's like with things like that. That maybe they try to push it back because they pushed the date further, and he still didn't do it. Maybe it was a serious injury that I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's why he can't fight as well. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a Movsar. But I mean, I've tried with all of them, but now it looks like it's a Lerone Murphy. It makes a lot of sense. So let's do Lerone Murphy December. Sounds great.
Who do you think deserves to face Alexander Volkanovski next? Aaron Pico breaks silence after brutal UFC debut KO. Aaron Pico's UFC debut ended in disappointment as he was knocked out by Lerone Murphy's spinning back elbow in the UFC 319 co-main event. Posting on Instagram, the former Bellator standout thanked his team, family, and fans for their support, while vowing to return sharper and stronger. Last night wasn't my night. That's the fight game. I'm grateful for my team, my family, and everyone who continues to support me. The supporters that have been there from day one and my new supporters, I see you. Thank you. Wins and losses both teach lessons, and I'll come back sharper, stronger, and better prepared. Thank you all who have sent messages and checked in. My health is well. Thanks for riding with me. My story is not over. At UFC. Dustin Poirier offers career-changing advice to Aaron Pico after KO. UFC legend Dustin Poirier says Aaron Pico got in his own way during his UFC 319 debut, where he was knocked out by Lerone Murphy. Poirier advised the young prospect to be more patient, set up his strikes, and use his combinations strategically instead of rushing in at full intensity. Despite the setback, Poirier believes Pico has the skills to compete at the highest level if he adjusts his approach. In the UFC 319 post-show, the UFC veteran said, "He's all in when he fights, when he's coming in to throw these combinations. He's sharp, but he's explosive. He doesn't do any feel-out punches, no jabs, no setups. Everything is kill, and when you do that, you win big, which he has done, or you lose big, which he has done. So I would like to see a little middle ground, him filling out the shots, setting them up, being a little bit more patient because he has the skills and he believes in it. That's why he's going forward like he does. But you have to set it up against this caliber of fighter. You can't just rush in there, jump in there, throwing 100% every punch. You have to make them guess. You have to set traps. You have to make them make mistakes, then put them away. He has those tools, but he's getting in his own way." Fight update: UFC 320 adds exciting matchups to main card. The UFC has finalized the rest of the main card for UFC 320 on October 4th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Newly confirmed bouts include Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree, Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov, and Joe Pyfer versus Abusupyan Magomedov. These additions join previously announced title fights: Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira II, and Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen, promising a stacked pay-per-view event. Are you looking forward to UFC 320? Coach Morne Visser vows Dricus Du Plessis will reclaim UFC belt ASAP. Coach Morne Visser is fired up after UFC 319, insisting that Dricus Du Plessis will come back stronger and reclaim the middleweight belt after just one fight. He dismisses critics who say Dricus was exposed, calling both himself and his fighter bad losers, determined to take back the title. Visser promises a swift return to the octagon and a statement win that will surprise the MMA world.
You've just maybe met the worst losers ever in your life, me and Dricus, and I'm not sleeping until we've got that belt back. I know everybody's laughing and say, yeah, Dricus was exposed. I'm a bad loser. Dricus is a bad loser. It's going to take whatever it takes for us to get back that belt back ASAP. It's not going to be a long story. One fight and the belt. That's us back in the belt. So to all those naysayers and all the guys who support blanket style MMA, blanket wrestling, we in the real fight game, and we'll be back again and surprise you with just taking that belt back again.
Do you think Dricus will ever reclaim the title? Let us know in the comment section below. That's all for today's news. Thanks for watching. If you like our content, don't forget to like and share. Subscribe to not miss daily MMA news from us.